everyone, and welcome to Shell Point Today for Monday, June 8th. I'm Dan Philgreen, and here's what's happening on today's program. Terry Kolath will visit with Adrian Kerr to talk about another one of his classes on Egypt. In this one, he'll reveal how this ancient culture relates to modern times in the things we use in everyday life. The summer concert series kicks off this weekend with the Crossroads Quartet, and residents Brad and Adrian Prokop will tell us more about it. And finally, Heather Batty from Resort Services will tell us about a Life Quest presentation, Healthy Habits for a Healthier You. But first, a reminder that on Wednesday in the Social Center, a presentation will be held entitled A Bee's Life. Alma Johnson of the Sarasota Honey Company will discuss bee biology, life states, and the duties of the bees. She will also identify the types of bees that are found in a hive. If you've ever been curious about these fascinating creatures and the roles that they play in nature, then you won't want to miss this presentation Wednesday that begins at 1:15 in the Social Center. If you weren't able to make it out for beach day this morning, which includes an ice cream stop, then you might want to beat the heat and cool down with a cup of gelato instead. Over at the Cafe Promenade, 4 different flavors are served, which are rotated weekly. The cafe is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. over at the Woodlands Commons. Did you know that women's cosmetics are thousands of years old? Well, maybe not the actual products women put on their faces today, but the concept is nothing new to this century. Ancient Egyptians developed many of the things that we use in modern everyday life, from medicines, irrigation and agriculture, math, and even implementing taxes. Professor Adrian Kerr has another class on the fascinating civilization and culture of ancient Egypt and shares more about it now with Terry Kolath.
Hi, I'm Terry Kolath. I'm here with Professor Adrian Kerr, and we're talking about a class in the Academy of Lifelong Learning, Ancient Egypt and Us, the 10 things we use every day. All right, Professor Adrian Kerr, 2,000 years ago, the civilization was active and thriving, and there are things we still use today.
Yes, I could go on with more than 10, but I'm going to take us through the 10 things which are the most common that we use every day. And this dates back, in fact, even further. The first of these is identified around about 2000 BC, 4,000 years ago. But not in any particular order, but the things that we use today, speaking on behalf of the ladies of Egypt were very, very vain. And they wanted to have wigs, which are attractive, and they wanted to have cosmetics. And cosmetics that we use today, there's hardly anything that wasn't invented 3,000 years ago. So we found tombs of the famous 3 ladies' tombs, 3 princesses were found, and they took with them their cosmetics. So we have a box, we lift the lid, and there are all the cosmetics. So you've got dark black to make your eyes relative to the white shine better, and that black pigment coal is there. They have red for the lips, and they even have a lipstick applicator in the box. So it's like a little brush, a little donkey head brush, and you just rubbed over your lips. It was good to be pale-faced, so they'd put white paste on their faces so they would look pale and elegant and not suntan like the people who had to live outside. And so if you look back at Elizabeth Taylor and during the Cleopatra movie, people say, oh, that's so horribly overdone, the makeup. In fact, she was underdone. The Egyptians were very proud about the extensive makeup. They had eyeliners, they had eyebrow pencils, and then they had a whole series of treatments, beauty treatments, to make their skin softer, to make their breath better, and so on and so on. So that's the lady side of it. But of course, the area where we use everyday Egyptian ideas is mathematics. And we've got it all wrong, and we think that it was the Greeks who invented geometry, but in fact the Egyptians invented all of the geometry and mathematics that the Greeks pretended to own. Pythagoras' theorem, for instance, was an Egyptian one, which predated the Greeks by 1,000 years. And if you think about it, that makes sense, because if you're building a pyramid, you need to know how much stones. You need to be able to calculate the surface area, the volume of stone, so you know how many people to employ and how many stones to put in place. So we have got papyruses which show high school tests of calculating the size of a pyramid, the surface area of a circle. They calculated the diameter of the planet to within 7% of its true diameter by
4,000 years ago.
4,000 years ago. They knew the Earth was a sphere because they planted a stick in Cairo and planted a stick in Aswan. At the same time, they measured the shadow. If the Earth was flat, the shadows would be the same. But the shadows are different because there's a curvature, and they were able to use that curvature calculation to prove the size of the sphere. Other things which we've brought from Egypt, which we use every day, are medicine. For instance, if you have a headache, you would probably take an aspirin, typically, and the Egyptians would do the same. Only their aspirin was in the form of willow bark. If you suck and chew willow bark, the active ingredient in aspirin is the same in willow bark. Unfortunately, you have to chew a lot of willow bark if you've got a really bad headache.
Oh my gosh, what did that do to the teeth?
And well, now we're talking about a really serious complaint. If you lived to the ripe old age of 30, which was pretty good going for Egypt, if you were poor, then you were probably okay. You're eating wheat cake, and that meant you didn't have sugar in your diet. It's too expensive. But with the sand in the wheat cake, your teeth would get ground down. That was a concern. The wealthy people, they would have fruit and sugary foods, and that attacked their enamel, as it does with us. And if you were lucky enough to live like Ramesses did till he was 92, every single one of his teeth in the lower jaw had abscesses. So he died in terrible agony and probably was an opium addict to stop the pain. But they would remove teeth if they could do, but if it was infected, then it got into the gum and they couldn't do anything about it. So there are a lot of people with sore teeth. And that's just a few of the 10 that I've chosen, which are fascinating and still used today.
This is going to be very interesting. All right, you'll want to make sure you sign up for Tuesday, June 9th, Ancient Egypt and Us, so you become aware of the 10 things we still use every day.
The Shell Point Summer Concert Series is about to heat up as the first night of music takes place this Saturday at the Village Church. Residents Brad and Adrian Prokop stopped by to tell us more about the talent of the Crossroads Quartet that will be performing on stage.
Hello, I'm Brad Prokop.
And I'm Adrian Prokop.
We are here as enthusiastic supporters of the summer concerts at Shell Point. The first presentation is the Crossroads Quartet on Saturday, June 13th at 7:30 p.m.
Originally from 4 different states and performing with 4 different quartets, Crossroads came together in 2007 to make a new sound. 2 years later, they were crowned the Barbershop Harmony Society's International Champions.
These versatile award-winning vocalists sing a wide variety of musical styles. Their program includes standard from the Great American Songbook, vocal jazz, blues, gospel, and popular classics.
Crossroads Quartet is steeped in traditional barbershop harmony. Join us to enjoy one of the most sought-after a cappella quartets in the world.
The world champion foursome has performed in Germany, France, Finland, the United Kingdom, and Japan, as well as coast to coast in the United States.
Shell Point residents and members of the community are invited to enjoy the diverse options available during the summer series, with concerts in June, July, August, and September.
Crossroads Quartet and other individual concert tickets are $20 each. You can purchase the entire series of 4 concerts for $60, which represents a $20 savings.
We'll be at the Village Church on Saturday, June 13th at 7:30 to enjoy Crossroads Quartet, the first concert of the summer concert season.
See you there.
It's time to talk about brain health. The quarterly MyQuest event is coming tomorrow and is entitled Healthier Habits for a Healthier You. Lifestyle strategies and choices that we can make to promote brain health will be discussed. Recent research points to choices in nutrition, exercise, and social activities as having a great impact. In order to find out more, Heather Batty of Resort Services visits with Emily Reese, a gerontologist from the Alzheimer's Association.
Hi, I'm Heather Batty with Resort Services. Today I'm here with a special guest, and we're here to talk about our upcoming quarterly MyQuest event with our LifeQuest. This is Emily Reese. She's a gerontologist from the Alzheimer's Association. The program we have coming up is called Healthy Habits for a Healthier You. Emily, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Heather, for asking me.
Yeah, this certainly sounds like such an exciting program, Healthy Habits for a Healthier. What is that?
Yes, it is an exciting program. It is a new program through the National Alzheimer's Association, and it is using evidence-based research to help us optimize our lifestyles so that we can enjoy the healthiest lifestyle possible. We know through research that there is a strong physical and brain health connection. And so certainly we are concerned about brain health. And what we will discuss in this program are those lifestyle strategies that we do have control over, and choices that we can make, healthy choices that help promote good brain health. So it's not just information, it's applying that information to our lives in a way that is useful on a daily basis. So I'm very excited to be providing this.
Right, yes, absolutely. And I believe you also have a workbook that we'll be getting in this program that'll kind of help us, work on these tools.
Yes. The workbook is going to be useful in helping to develop that individualized plan.
Right. I think a lot of people have the question of cognitive health, when our brain. How does that relate to our physical? How does this research say that the two are combining now and working together?
Yes. Well, certainly we've known for centuries that there is a strong brain-body connection, but what we are learning through research is that there are actual impact in the choices we make, in our nutrition, in our exercise, in our social activities that can help promote good brain health in the individual. So it is exciting. It's moved from just an area of research that this may be helpful to the area of research that, yes, we're finding making these changes are helpful.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the exciting part.
That is. It's really exciting for me. I love the idea of really working our mind and our bodies, the mental aspect of everything, and really promote longevity. And, we see so much decline, in our residents, that it's so great to be able to promote these healthy habits.
Yes, and also developing habits can have a positive impact at any age.
Right.
Yes, so there's no excuse.
Excellent. Yes. You're never too old to make good habits.
Yes.
Well, this is a MyQuest event, but everybody is invited to this event. All of our MyQuesters, make sure you wear your yellow t-shirt that says LifeQuest, and you'll be entered into a raffle. And for everyone who's not signed up, just sign up that day and you also can be entered into a raffle. So there's really no reason to not show up for this wonderful event. Again, it's Healthy Habits for a Healthier You. It's going to take place on Tuesday, June 9th at 1 p.m. in the Social Center. So thank you, Emily. We really appreciate you being here.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing everyone there.
Thank you.
And now, let's bring you up to date on all the latest happenings, Academy news, menus, and Village Church connections, right after this Listening to the Words preview from David Howenstein.
During the last 5 years of Listening to the Words programs, you may have heard some of my reports on Ocean Grove, the 1896 Methodist camp-meeting Oceanside community, and the various religious and artistic performances held in and around its 1894 wooden auditorium, including 3 appearances of Garrison Keillor and his Prairie Home Companion show. Well, this time the focus is on the Great Auditorium's 1907 organ. You'll hear the powerful sound of its more than 11,000 pipes. And you'll hear about the 41-year veteran curator of this dominating musical voice. Like the preceding 191 half-hour Listening to the Words programs, you can hear this special program at the top and bottom of each hour all 7 days of this week, except on Tuesdays and Thursdays when I share the channel with Shell Point Church services, repeated 3 times each of those days. I'm your reader-host, David Hauenstein, inviting you to hear it all on Shell Point's Channel 12. Those who cannot access Channel 12 can hear the program at www.shellpoint.net by clicking on Media and then clicking on Listening to the Words. Or you can point your browser to www.shellpoint.net/listening. Either way, I will say thank you for listening to the words.
Hi everybody, welcome to the happening segment of Shell Point TV. I'm Bev Chandley and this is Caitlin Van Scoy, and we're going to go over the activities that we offer for you today at Shell Point. We're going to start with a beach day outing. At 8:30 we pick up at the Island, 8:40 at the Woodlands, and 8:50 at Eagles Preserve. We have an 8:45 virtual bowling game going on at the Resident Activity Center. At 9 o'clock, the men's round robin tennis will be down at the Woodlands tennis courts. 9:15 is always a busy time around here, and we have billiards at the Resident Activity Center. We have the Lollygaggers paddlers meeting at the kayak storage for their weekly outing at 9:15. Pottery with instruction available will be at the Pottery Studio at 9:15, and that's the end of our 9:15 lineup. At 10 o'clock, the Suzy Q goes to Matanzas on the Bay. Sign up is required for those trips. At 10:30, the Disciple Men's Study Group will be in the game room of the Woodlands. At 10:45, table tennis will be down in the Tarpon Room, and this will be a clinic. We have a Health Connections class at 11:30, Agility and Flexibility. That'll be in the Health Club on the island, and that one's currently full. Now, here's Caitlin for your afternoon lineup.
Well, thanks, Bev. At 12 o'clock, we have Mahjong being played in the Sable Room of the Woodlands. At 1:15, we have Advanced Table Tennis at the Tarpon Room. And we have a Health Connections class called It's All About You at 1:15 in the Osprey Room, and that's currently full. Samba the card game will be played at 1:15 in the Resident Activity Center. And at 2 o'clock, we have the Beady-Eyed Bee Club meeting in the Oak Room, that's in the Woodlands. 3 o'clock, we have a Health Connections class, Pilates Stretch in the Health Club. And 4 o'clock's the time for pickleball. That'll be played at the pickleball courts. 5 o'clock, the singles table is available at the Crystal Dining Room. No reservation is required, but you do need to show up between 5 and 5:30. And our last activity of the day is at 6:30 with Duplicate Bridge in the game room of the Woodlands. Well, thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Terry Kolath with your Academy information for Monday. At 10:30, you can stop in the Oak Room of the Woodlands for Anatomy of Words. All are welcome. Tomorrow, we have a new class with Professor Kerr, Ancient Egypt and Us, to discuss the 10 things we use every day. We also have that iPad, iPhone walk-in clinic with Penny Modridge of Nautilus. She and some resident volunteers will be there if you'd like to stop by with a question.
Menus for Monday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is Italian sausage with broccoli and angel hair pasta. The dinner special is Old Home Cooking Night for $11.95, and the soup of the day is cream of chicken. In the Island Cafe for lunch, the special is a ham, turkey, and Swiss sub with chips for $7.75. The dinner special is coconut-crusted tilapia with island rice and mango cranberry salad for $8.75. And the Palm Grill is closed on Mondays. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Welcome to Village Church Connections. I'm David Pavey. There's a story in the Bible about King Hezekiah. One day when he was very ill, the prophet Isaiah visited him with a message from God. Put your house in order, because you're going to die. This is a reminder that part of the business of life is to prepare for death. King Hezekiah was at death's door. Soon he would stand before God and give an account for his actions. But the king had unfinished business, so God warned him through his prophet, "Put your house in order." Presuming the king's relationship with God was not wanting, we are left to guess precisely what practical steps Hezekiah needed to take to set his house in order. Perhaps he needed to forgive someone who had offended him. Maybe he needed to ask someone else to forgive him. He may have needed to thank someone who had ministered sacrificially to him. Perhaps he needed to review his will. We can be sure, however, that part of the process of setting his house in order involved taking care of his financial and legal matters, showing consideration for those who would succeed him. In this regard, we all do well to heed Isaiah's warning, because as God's servants, if we are, we need to be faithful stewards who organize our affairs well and provide for our relatives. We need to avoid sloppy, undisciplined, irresponsible living and the wasting of precious resources. There's no shortage of people in our area who can help us prepare for the end-of-life business. Some time ago, a friend gave each of his 3 children a sealed envelope to be opened after his death. At the time, it seemed like a rather morose and unnecessary exercise, as he was still in his 60s and with a great heart and a body of an athlete. But not long afterwards, my friend was admitted to the hospital, where despite the efforts of a team of specialists, his condition deteriorated rapidly. Within a matter of days, he went to be with the Lord. Besides the mourning, the emotion of the funeral, and the concern for their mother's future, the family was now faced with many practical decisions regarding financial, legal, and material details. They went straight to those envelopes where they found all the information they needed. The will, details on banking and other financial matters, and where to find important papers. It was all there. What had seemed like an impossible task became relatively easy because my friend's house was in order. No Christian adult is too young or too spiritual to ignore God's counsel to Hezekiah, "Put your house in order, because you will die." Soon it will be our turn to stand before God and give an account. As I said, part of the business of life is to prepare for death. Is my house in order? Is yours? Really? And thank you for tuning in to Village Church Connections.
Thanks for joining us on today's program. Tomorrow we will be talking about the importance of food safety as Linda Rakos from Hospitality Services points out potential hazards in the kitchen when it comes to foods and how to properly cook and store them. Heather Batty and Melanie Broad will give us another fit tip. And Pastor Andy Hawkins will give us a preview of his class coming this Thursday on the Bible and theology. Until then, this has been Shell Point Today for Monday, June 8th. From all of us here at Shell Point TV, we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.